So now we get it. Now it's about to be real. So now you get out of SWIC. You're as good as you're going to be for the candidate course. You're as prepped as you're going to be, and you take that bus ride over to the Chapman Training Annex, and you report to A&S. What was it like on your first day?
So yeah, we were on Blue Team. It's called down there when you're waiting to go to A&S. There's a whole bunch of colored teams and whatnot. I'll just leave it at that. So that was like a Friday, I'm pretty sure, and we started A&S on Monday, and that was our first interaction with like a coach, a T3I coach and whatnot, and we got smoked while we were down there. I'm pretty sure he had us like jump in the river, come back at a time, and
the creek. Have fun.
There were already guys.
You know what? I know exactly how long it takes to get to that creek and back, even if you're fast. I know how long it takes for like 10 people. I know how long it takes for 50. And I know exactly how to tell you, okay, you have 1 minute and 15 seconds to get to the creek, get completely wet, and get back here. You know why? Because it actually takes about 1 minute and 20, and I know how to make you fail.
Every time. They just know it too well. And going uphill, soaking wet. Oh, man.
It's awful.
It's awful, but like with every smoke session or any like physically grueling thing, it's always just hilarious afterwards. Like you look at the guy next to you and you're just like, oh man, that sucked.
You're just like, what are we doing with my life? I imagine with you as a 25-year-old guy, you've already got a college degree. You're an engineer by trade, I guess. Like to get done where a high school graduate with a funny colored hat is just yelling at you and making you do physical exercise. Like to try to explain that to somebody that doesn't know about our culture and doesn't know what we do. They always have it's one of two reactions. One, they just completely don't understand it. And they're just like, I don't even know. What does that even do? And the other reaction is like, they'll clutch their pearls and be like, oh my goodness, are you guys okay?
Oh man. Yeah. It's tough to explain to people like family or friends back home. It's like, you can say what happened, but I don't think they'll ever understand. Like you just have to go through it.
Yeah. It's like those team jokes that you got. Like I've laughed so hard with my friends that I cried, like real tears streaming down my face.
Yes.
And then I tried to explain why that joke was funny to somebody, and they had no clue. They're like, that is not funny at all. I'm like, well, you're an uncultured swine, because that was hilarious in the moment. So you get over to A&S. We're going through. So A&S is that 4-week period, and pre-dive is the 4-week period following.
Yep.
What was your hardest part about A&S?
So a whole lot of it, like everyone knows it's physically hard. Like you could be the best athlete, but you're going to hit muscle failure at some point. It doesn't take a lot to hit muscle failure. I was actually on the lower side of the physical spectrum, I'd say. So I don't know if that's just made everything a little harder for me or what, but I learned from my psych interviews too. I guess I always kind of knew this. My self-confidence was super low, and being just low on the physical side of it, like only hurt it even more. So like I was just struggling with the mental aspect all throughout A&S. I always thought I was never performing well enough. Like, oh, geez, I'm not going to make it. And that was the real tough part of it. Like just going that whole time thinking, well, I could get through it, but I'm just not going to get selected. And that's just a strain on your mental.
That negative self-talk, that thing is, that is a bitch, my friend. That negative self-talk, because it takes energy. When you think those thoughts, it takes mental energy, both to think them, right? Which is a weird thing. Your brain is essentially a controlled chemical reaction that is firing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But it takes energy for you to get over that negative self-talk, because you know all of the worst things about yourself. No one else is thinking those things about you, but you think they are, because you know all those bad things. And man, that has to be super tough. What did you do to get out of that negative self-talk spiral?
I just thought of like my why and whatnot. They harp on that all throughout SWIC, and they even say during BMT to think of what your why is, why you're here, why you want to do this. And like I could give the textbook answer of, oh, I want to be the best I could be, and I just want to be like push myself and whatnot. And yeah, that is part of it 100%. But like, you'll hear it a million more times of like, just never quit and stuff. And it is more than just not quitting. You do have to perform and you do have to do well. But I just wanted to keep going. And I was like, there is no point in quitting. Like even day one of ANS, where it's like really tough and whatnot. And you don't know like what's to come, but like you just keep going, you keep pushing yourself.
Not quitting is the baseline expectation. That is not the goal. Like just not quitting is not good enough. That's the baseline expectation. That's the bare minimum. And we've said it a lot. And you know, quitting leads to regret is hell. Obviously, you know, shout out to Trent for coming up with that one. He's an idea man.